Hey everyone, this is Sergio from Gamechangers. I want to thank you so much for supporting my show. We're coming up on 50 episodes already of some amazing guests, some amazing game changers, and I hope that they've inspired you on your journey because they've inspired me, and this show has changed my life. So thank you so much, number one, for supporting and showing the love that you have for my show, and please subscribe because that means a lot to me. Number two, really important announcement is on Monday, the Game Changers 30-Day Challenge begins, and you don't want to miss this. So every day you're going to get, as a part of this program, you're going to get a text message. You're going to click on that text message. It's going to take you to this platform where there's going to be daily inspiration. There's going to be an affirmation. There's going to be a journal check-in where you can talk about how you're moving towards your state of peak performance, your best version of yourself each and every day. There's a wall of wins where you can post your wins in the community. Everyone supports you, gives you virtual high fives. There's a gratitude section because everything starts with gratitude, and how we compare where we are right now versus everything else is happening in the world puts things in perspective. When we talk about what we're grateful for each and every day, it makes a huge difference. So that's part of it too. We have weekly challenges, which are TED Talk videos and are gonna just blow your mind, really inspire you to think outside the box. And then the best part, there's 13 coaching corner videos. It's 3 a week of me providing you micro coaching lessons. So things that are really applicable, things that you can apply today, little coaching 2-3 minute videos. And all of it is gamified. So it's all with points. So every action you take, you're gaining points along with the community, which you're gonna have some great prizes at the end, including some swag like this, Game Changer gear, and some other great prizes. So the challenge begins August 23rd. That's a Monday. That's only a few days away. We have a great group of people. I want you to join because it's going to be your best month ever. It's going to help you start building daily habits that serve you well. It's going to open up your mindset, give you a growth mindset, and it's going to give you that best month ever. So be sure to sign up. Have a look at the link in my bio and on this post, and make sure to sign up today and use the code. I'm going to give you this code just for you, challenge50, and you're going to get 50% off. So normally it's $99. It'll be just $49 for the month. That's like $1.63 a day. You can't even buy a Starbucks coffee for that. So get it done today. Don't wait. Go to the link right now and register. And I guarantee you it's going to be amazing. You're going to have a great group, and you're going to have the best fall ever because summer's over, guys. Now it's time to hit it hard, put it into high gear, and let's cross that finish line going all out. So thank you guys for your support of Game Changers, and I'll see you at the challenge. Take care. We've all worked, I think everyone out there has worked for a terrible leader, and all have worked for an amazing leader. How they make you feel is the biggest thing, right? It's just, how they make you feel, and they actually lift you up and they believe in you. And that's another thing that we're talking about in that story, about how when you place a belief in people, many people don't see what you can see, as their potential, right? And when you believe in them, their level just rises like the tide.
Yeah. We base that part off of a very famous quote by Winston Churchill, known as obviously a wonderful leader. And what he had said is the best way to give someone a virtue is to impute it to them. So in other words, even if they don't even know they have that virtue, even if they don't have it, if they're not expressing it right now, give that virtue to them.
Yeah.
Let them live up to it, and you'll be surprised how often. Now, every time, no, of course not. Life is life, and that doesn't, but you'd be surprised how often you impute a virtue to someone and nurture that. Okay, and you can't, it's not just a matter of one day, hey, you're this, that, no, but that you stay on this and you help them develop it. They'll come through, they'll become that.
Sitting on a boat, working at Club Med, living there, learning how to scuba dive, eating fruit, hanging out with really cute tennis players, loving life to no end, had no future, I had nothing, I was doing nothing at that moment, sitting on a boat, and I said to and I was living in New York City technically, and I said, if life ever gets really bad, if you feel lost, make yourself a promise right now that you always know that this exists, this blue water, this boat, this little island here where people don't care who you are, where you came from, what you do for a living. They only care that it's sunny out, there's some surf and a mango. that you could always come here. And there are days where that kept me going, because it is not all sunshine and roses. And I think people get confused. Oh, well, she had it easy. Guess what? What is easy? Or my favorite, life's not fair. I said, did you get a little certificate that said life was supposed to be fair?
Inventory of your values. So you have 4 different types of values. You have personal values, your health, your integrity, your character, your love. You have your experiential values. What do I want to experience today? What's my journey? You have giving values and receiving values. What am I going to create a legacy of by giving away? And how much will I have to give away? Because I can only give what I have, so I must receive. And more people have problems receiving than they do giving, believe it or not. So I spend a lot of my time teaching people about these values, because these values allow you to determine your what, not your why. Your why is already predetermined. You're already, a tree has no branches. One branch would not go to war against another branch. Your why is to help all the other branches. Your why is to help the tree. You know that inherently. You chicken out of it because you can't figure out your what. But if you take inventory of your values every day, and you're not afraid of being a hypocrite, meaning the more you advance, the more you accelerate, grow, and change, the more you'll look like a hypocrite because your values change. You're like, oh, you didn't say that yesterday. Oh, all of a sudden now, yeah, that's right, because I'm growing. This is a good thing that I'm a hypocrite. You know, congratulations. You've exposed me for being a learner. You've exposed me for expanding and evolving. Congratulations. Way to go. And I laugh at people because they do that so often, right? And it's like, why are you stopping people from growing and learning? That's the whole lessons of life, is to learn.
What was going through your mind? What does that feel like to be in the World Series?
All of those things. You know, you put on a uniform for one reason, and that's to get a World Series ring. You want some jewelry. And to get to that point that not many people get to, you know that every single out, every inning, every run means so much. So those 3 weeks that you're in the playoffs seems like 2 months, because it's condensed and your emotions run so high and the tensions run so high that everything that you do impacts whether you're going to win or lose.
Right.
And ultimately, if you get to hoist that trophy over your heads.
Like, you needed an opportunity, right? When you were starting off, and somebody gave that to you. And so if we pay that forward, you know, in the universe, we're going to get more of that in return, right?
Absolutely. And you know what? You know, I'm a big proponent of that. You know, I am here today because people took chances on me, right? And people believed in me. Shoot, a quick story to share with you. You know, right before I got to FIU, I was dabbling, you know, DJing a bit, and a gentleman I met, his name was Frank Rodriguez, DJ Lips. You know, I share the story as much as I can, because, you know, I couldn't afford turntables, you know, and I didn't want to put that burden on my parents, and I know I really wanted them, but you know, I ended up meeting this guy Frank. We became friends, and I expressed to him how I'm looking for turntables. It just so happened that, you know, he had a little side business where he would rent them, right, to other DJs doing parties and stuff. And he was like, you know what, I got a pair that I'm gonna lend you. And he lent me a pair of turntables with the mixer and the whole nine. And I was supposed to use it for maybe like a week or two, you know. And I reached out to him when I was done, and I was like, man, thank you so much, you know. When you want me to bring them by? He was like, you know what, I'll let you know when I need them back.
Right.
And a month went by. 2 months went by, and 6 months went by, you know, and I reached out to him, and he was like, listen, do not call me about this again, I'll let you know when, right? And I didn't realize that he was steady watching me and watching my progress and watching how I started doing some gigs and here or there. And long story short, he never ever asked for the equipment back, ever. Wow. And years later, you know, after I'd, you know, really got into my career and, you know, made a little bit of money, you know, I sent him a check for the value of the equipment, and then some, right? And then some. And I watched my account for the next couple of weeks, and it didn't go through. And one day, this is years later, I get a picture sent to me. It was from Frank, and it was the check that was on the wall. in his house, and he says that's where it's gonna stay, you know. And he told me how proud he was, and
that's amazing, man. What a story.
That's how life's supposed to be.
What would you say is more important as an entrepreneur, capital or relationship capital?
Wow. It's a great question, Sergio, but I would have to say the latter, because that's how, we built the agency, especially early on, was based on relationship capital, because what we both put into it was a lot of sweat equity, right? It was a lot of, me leaving, a job that I had at Univision, like you mentioned. I was on with Univision Radio, and I left that job. I had an employment agreement, had a few years left on my employment agreement, but kind of took the risk. This was 15 years ago this November.
Wow.
Took the risk and said, you know what, if I don't do this now, when am I going to do it?
When I think of like women in tech and women in entrepreneurship and women in the space, I can name several. I mean, we'd be here too long, specifically that are leading organizations here in South Florida. So for me, even though I think as a whole, it's still definitely an issue, we still need to do a lot of work on it. But I feel like in South Florida, we can certainly set the standard and set the stage, and I will continue doing everything I can to help mentor and to help advocate for more women in this space.
Oh my God, I've committed to this. I've moved my entire life here to Washington, D.C. I've got this apartment that I now have to pay for. I've got a car payment. What am I going to do? And as fate should have it, a month later, all those tapes that I had sent out, the news director at Channel 10, where I am right now, called me and said, I just saw your tape. I'm the new news director here. I was looking over some old tapes that were sent to the old news director. You've got a great look. You've got a great vibe for Miami. I want to bring you back. How can I convince you to leave your job, leave my job,
very easily,
and come back to Miami? And I said, well, what do you got to offer? But seriously, his name was Bob Richbloom. And again, I was a kid. I was 22 years old, I just turned 20, I was going to turn 23. I had no idea what I was doing. I basically did not even earn my stripes. I spent a year at Telemundo learning television and learning how to practice my Spanish. And then I spent 6 weeks in Washington, D.C., a week in Berlin covering this international, incredible, historic story. But I knew nothing. And again, I was given this opportunity to come here and cut my teeth. And you either sink or swim.
Sure.
Oprah has a great saying, and I'm a disciple of Oprah. She says, luck is what happens when opportunity meets preparation. And so that door opens for all of us. How prepared are we when that door opens? How committed are we to walk through that door when that door opens? Because that door will open for all of us. Every single person that's watching this right now that thinks, oh, I don't have what it takes, or this only happens to the lucky people, or I probably win the lottery before I get my dream job. That's BS. Mm-hmm. You don't know when that door is going to open, and you don't know that door may lead to another door, but that door, that opportunity will open for everyone. How prepared are you when that opportunity comes your way? That will decide your success. And if you believe in yourself.
Right, and having the courage to walk through that door.
Having the courage,
absolutely. This innate need to be outside, I think. And so if you want a healthy mind and a body to follow, I think you got to put those outdoor elements in there. And I think some of my best ideas have come after I've run, some during, but mostly after, where I just feel like I cleaned out the system, got the circulation going and the heart rate up. Like I heard someone say the other day, I'm like, no one ever, I forget exactly how they said it, but it's, no one ever finishes their run and says, man, that was a mistake.
Exactly.
Even when you run too fast or too far, you always feel like you did something that helped you and took care of your needs at that moment.
Nothing has meaning but the meaning we give it, right? Thinking is what affects it. So nothing is good or bad, only thinking makes it so. So you say that bad things have happened. Really? I don't know if bad things have happened. Things have happened, and people attach the bad because they wish it was a different way. There's a million things you can do if you decide that you're going to live an epic life. Just make a decision. It doesn't matter. Sports is the greatest metaphor, Sergio.
Yeah.
When a player goes down, does the coach go, okay, can we cancel the game? One of my key players has gone down. Can we do this again in 2 weeks? No. He puts on the next best player.
That's right.
And they adapt. If people were to live their life that way and go, oh, you know what? I hurt my knee. I guess I'll work up my upper body. Oh, COVID came. I have to stay inside. Well, maybe I'll learn how to cook or play the piano. And so it's really a practice. I look at life the same way. Whatever life serves me, I have to find a way to sift through what's available and make the best of it.
I mean, I think that that's everything. Being able to see someone, reaffirm them where they are, is in many regards the essence of leadership. And the idea of acknowledging and reaffirming the dignity of another human being, that's so much of what everyone is actually looking for. We look at times toxic discourse that might be happening in the public square, and we realize that so many people are looking for that form of reaffirmation of the dignity of another, even if there might be divisions, even if there might be disagreements. And when you bring it back to leadership environments, I think that that's the essence of it. I mean, all of us know those leaders that have made us feel larger than our own selves, have made us feel the fullest metal of our human potential, and contrasting with leaders that make you feel.
Everybody, I hope you've been enjoying the best of Game Changers, and there's more to come. The year's flying by. I want to make sure that you're firing on all cylinders. And what better way to do that other than a Game Changers 30-day challenge? So guys, this is an opportunity for you to participate in a really powerful, impactful virtual coaching program. All right. And so the challenge takes out the heavy lifting out of creating change, and it makes it fun. Why 30 days? Because listen, if we want to grow, we need to practice. You can read a book, you can take a course, which is fine. But you know what? If you're not practicing each and every day, you're not going to build the momentum and the habits, the attitudes, perceptions, all the things that you need to start gaining momentum and winning in life. So make sure to go register today with the link below. The cost is $99, but with the code challenge50. So it comes down to about $49 for a 30-day challenge where you're getting personalized coaching from me and getting support from a community. Trust me, it's going to be the best $49 you have ever spent. You're going to have a sense of community. You're going to be rolling in some new habits, some new attitudes. Your success is going to increase, and overall, you're going to be living your better life and getting close to your best life ever.
The National League's MVP in both 82 and 83 from Atlanta, number 3, Dale Murphy.
Murphy with Simmons on deck. 1-0 pitch to him. And a high drive, deep left. Wilson to the wall. It's gone.
One of the things you're talking about is swing hard every time, because you just might hit it. I love that quote, because it really tells you, get up and give it your all every day, because you never know how close you are to hitting your goal, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's kind of the same philosophy as address the next pitch. This pitch is the most important pitch you're going to face. It's not the last one that you just missed, or or the ones that are going to come in a few hours, in a couple more innings. And so I have a chance and to talk to a lot of kids about baseball and hitting and where to hold your hands and where to hold your feet. And there are some basic fundamentals that you have to follow. But the philosophy of swing hard in case you hit it, people kind of chuckle at that. But there's a lot of truth to it as well. Once you practice your fundamentals and you work on them day in and day out, when you're in the batter's box getting ready to face a pitch, you can't spend time thinking about where your hands are and your feet. It kind of has to flow. And one of the ways you get it to flow is in your mind. You just say, okay, I'm going to see this ball. I'm going to hit the furthest ball I've ever hit in my life. I'm going to swing hard in case I hit it. and it tends to free your mind, and just focus on the ball and hit it. And I'll tell you, Sergio, like I said, I've done a number of clinics. I teach kids the fundamentals, and I'll watch them take batting practice, and then, you know, they're doing okay, and then I'll call timeout. I'll go up to the kid. Okay, this time, you know, I want you to keep your eye on the ball, but I just want you to go for it. I want you to swing hard, swing harder. And they look at me, and, you know, they kind of smile, and inevitably, every time they take a better swing, it's because they were a little nervous having me watch them, and if they were doing everything right, but it freed up their mind. And parents will say, well, what'd you tell them?
Stop thinking too much.
Yeah, I told them the secret of hitting is close your eyes and swing as hard as you can. But
I'm found in this office by myself with
having to raise $300 million.
$300 million. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I know she was going to give me a piece of cake. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, you know what? You know, after all that I've been through, this is a piece of cake.
About the profession or the profession I wanted to go into, but I did a lot of listening, and I spent time. I was one of those kids where I was always on the front row. If there was a guest speaker at college, I sat on the front row because I was there to absorb as much as I could, because I really wanted to learn more about how I got to how I would end up getting to that ultimate goal of being a CEO. And of course, I am so grateful that I've made it there, but it took a lot of listening, mentoring, a lot of determination, making sure I put all the right points on the board to make that happen.
Is if you lift someone up and you draw out of them what it is that they want to accomplish, what do they aspire to, where do they want to be in a year or 2 years, and they start dreaming, right? And then you say, wow, I want to support you in that. I want to help you get there. And then you ask them the questions, what do you need to do? What do you need to become? What do you need to learn? What activities do you need to, to accomplish on a daily basis in order to get there? And then that individual, they start, well, I can do this, and I can do this, and I can do this, right? They literally create their own plan. And then you get to ask that last question, which is a great go-giver question, is, hey, what a great plan. Is it okay if I'll hold you accountable to your plan?
Right. You can't say no to that. It's your plan.
It's their plan, right? And now we get to help grow and inspire and lead and serve, right? Because now if my position is, how can I serve you to where you can get to your dream faster? That's a powerful relationship. I love to work around people who help me achieve my dream.
I'm an actress. I made a good amount of money in New York City doing something. I moved out to Los Angeles, bought my first car. It was a little yellow Toyota stick shift. And I was so proud of it. It was my car. I owned my own car. And for, like I said, with no money, that's kind of cool, right? Well, I drive up to this Beverly Hills party, and this valet comes up to me, and he's got a look on his face because I realize that he has just parked the Bugatti, the Rolls, and that Maserati over there. And the energy that he looked at me instantly reminded me that I was nothing. Now, the weird thing about this, and I know you can all relate to this moment, and I wanted to say, but you make less money than I do. All you do is park the car, okay? But that had already been planted in my soul. Now, I'm an introvert. I don't do well at parties, and I love movie stars. I walk into this ballroom, and I am immediately struck by George Clooney standing over there. And then I looked around, and I realized that everybody in that room was thinner, richer, more powerful, and beautiful than I was. Everybody. And I looked around the room. I don't drink, so I couldn't hide behind a drink. And I couldn't talk, and I couldn't move. And I didn't know what to do, so I turned around and I left. I felt so bad. That's a side of me, okay? Now here's what happens. The universe is going to say to me, Forbes, that's not a good way for you to be. You have too much messages and too many things inside of you. So along the way, it's taught me lessons like it teaches all of you. Your job is to listen and learn and knock it off at some point.
That sometimes kids graduate whatever field they want to get into, right? Whatever it is. And they think that it's the same thing. Well, here's my degree. I'm going to be a doctor or a nurse or a TV reporter or I want a podcast and I want 1 million followers in the first 2 weeks. And yeah, or I want, that's not the real world, and that's not real life. And I think these days, sometimes, kids just want to go viral and get the followers and the likes and this and the that. And really, you can be a one-hit wonder, right? But then how do you translate that into longevity, right? Or you can be, one of these people that understands that things take a minute, start out slow. If you're in this business, know that if you're from Miami or another big market, you're going to have to probably move to Missoula, Montana, or Macon, Georgia, or I don't know, Sacramento, California,
smaller markets,
or some other small little, town to start and get that first job, hone your skills, learn your stuff, and then baby step it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like this generation loses sight of that because they are the instant gratification generation.